1080. And now, here are your hosts for tonight's program, Neil Pearlberg and Terry Campion.
Good evening and welcome to the Off the Lip Radio Show, broadcasting from delightful, gorgeous, beautiful Santa Cruz, California. Absolutely gorgeous day today. You went paddleboarding today, TC?
Yes, I did. Aren't you proud of me?
It took you, what, how long for you to go paddleboarding?
I had a paddleboard for about 10 months before I rode it.
Those things got wiped off. So you're now officially a paddleboarder.
I went sweeping.
Ladies and gentlemen of Santa Cruz.
I went sweeping.
TC is now a sweeper. Tonight we have a very special show tonight. We are so honored to have these two gentlemen in the studio to talk about the reunion of the Junior Lifeguard, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary. Also the reunion of the Santa Cruz Beach Lifeguard program. Is that about the same year, same age, or are they older? My guests tonight, let me tell you, are Grant, Codiga. You guys say Grant, right? I say Grant. Grant Codiga and the one and only Mr. Jack Dufour in studio live here. We're going to have some great stories tonight, TC.
This is a big story.
Some we can tell, some we can't, I'm sure. I heard a couple out there we can't tell those. No, it's not happening. But we're very excited to have him in the studio. This portion of the show is brought to you by Dharma USA. You see these, TC? How's
cold.
yoga?
Ice cold.
The
I
ice cold Dharma wristband. I'm telling you right now.
Here, put that up to the camera again.
I'm telling you right now, TC. If you're doing hot yoga, or if you're doing any workout, or if you're a junior lifeguard, you want to cheat at junior lifeguard? Wear one of these next year because they completely reduce the heat in your body when you work out. Also, if you recover, they are unbelievable. That is Dharma, DHAMA USA.com.
Hey,
or check them out on Facebook
What if
page.
you had the flu?
Ooh, that's a good call.
Is
yeah, if you're not well.
Yeah.
Well, how about if you like hot flashes? You know, women.
Right.
You know, menopause, hot flashes.
Uh-huh.
What do you think?
Well, there seems like a lot of different
We're talking
uses.
about menopause and hot flashes on the Off the Lip Radio Show. That's a first. Wow. Dharma USA. We're going to start with Grant here because we want to talk about, you got a big event coming up on October the 1st this year at Cowles Beach. And please, Grant, tell us exactly what's going to be happening, what's going on.
Yeah, well, first of all, Neil and TC, thank you so much for having us here. And I'm here with one of my heroes, Jack Dufour, who has just an amazing tenure with thousands and thousands of kids, whether it be at the high school level or on the beaches with junior lifeguards and water polo teams, et cetera, et cetera. But we're very, very excited about an event that's coming up October 1st. And it's we've got Cowles Beach as well as the main beach in Santa Cruz, California, reserved for a giant beach lifeguard, Santa Cruz County, all countywide beach lifeguard, junior lifeguard reunion. Within that, we're going to be celebrating Santa Cruz City's junior lifeguard program's 50th anniversary, and we're really excited about that. And also, it happens to be Santa Cruz City's 150th anniversary.
Right.
So it's going to be an exciting day of games, history, and recognition, and a lot of fun. And selfishly, as both a junior lifeguard and a beach lifeguard alumni, a lot of us just want to get together and hang out. We just want to socialize. Right. And been hearing it from so many people over the years, and we're doing it. We're putting it together.
Very cool.
You putting on the old red shorts for that day?
Oof.
Still got them?
Well, TC, I might have them, but I'm not sure that they'll fit.
But wasn't it white? But Jack, wasn't it? I'm kind of curious, Jack. Wasn't it white back in the day?
No, red.
It was always red.
Red with white shirts.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about how you started were you the founder, one of the founders of the Junior Lifeguard program, and how did it start?
Well, I wasn't really one of the founders.
Okay.
It started in 1966, and from my recollection, Al Mitchell, who was a teacher at Mission Hill, went down south and observed the Junior Lifeguard program at Huntington Beach. And then he brought it back up and thought it might be a good idea. Now, Junior Lifeguards basically is to train youngsters to be lifeguards because it originated in Australia. And Australia has a lot more beaches than we do. They need a lot more lifeguards. So it's obvious that if you train them young, then you're going to have those lifeguards.
Right.
So Al brought it up here, and then a gentleman named Dean Hovey was head of the recreation department, and he also was head of the lifeguards. So he started the program in '66, and there were some instructors there. I'm not too familiar with that area. And then after I got out, I went to Cabrillo, and then I went in the Marine Corps and came out. And
hang on a second,
yeah,
because you mentioned in the studio before. I think it's a good point. You were one of the first students at Cabrillo,
yes,
right? And it was where was it at?
Watsonville High School.
It was in a condemned building.
Yeah, they had the condemned building, and they put us in there. Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
flunked.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Probably the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, because you end up in the Marines, correct?
Yeah. I think I grew up.
Right.
That's. I needed that discipline, so the Marine Corps did that for me, and then I came back out, and then Cabrillo had been built by then.
Yeah.
And then I went back in and was reinstated.
What did you bring to the Junior Lifeguard program, being fresh out of the Marines?
Well, what had happened was I went to work for the recreation department, and Dean was Hovey was with the recreation department, and we went on a workshop, and he talked to me about these kids. They march in Australia. They march before any competition. He goes, "I'd like these kids to march. You were in the Marine Corps," and I said, "Yeah." He says, "Can you teach them how to march?" And I said, "Yeah." So he brought me down to the beach for a half day, and then after the summer of '68, he asked me if I'd take the program. And so I took the program till 1977.
Right.
How many kids were in the program back then?
Well, I was running 200 kids a day. So
And that was through the main beach only, right?
that
at
was
that time?
Tower 2.
Tower 2.
Tower 2. It used to be, now it's at Cowles now, and then it was Tower 2.
Right.
And I did that by myself, and I had and Tim McGuire, who's the old principal
Yeah.
at Harbor High School,
Yeah.
came in as my partner, and I had two young men. The aides of Dave Cox and Mark Nittler would help me.
Between the two of you, between Tim McGuire, who's a big, foreboding gentleman, who's a sweetheart though, but he's big, large, and foreboding, and you, fresh out of the Marines, man, that's scary. You must have been scared of some little 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old kids. I mean, our friend now, Greg Heath. Do you know Greg Heath,
of course,
right?
yeah.
He's telling me you made the march at the Miss California pageant.
Yeah, right down Pacific Avenue.
You made the march.
Yeah. Oh, Dean says you're going to march, and I went, okay. And so we trained, and the kids did a really good job. It was really neat stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
it seems like it was an instant success, huh? The 200 kids, right? So early?
Not early. It started with a little less probably, but we organized it into age groups, and then I brought a little more discipline into it, of course. And it was a yes sir, no sir program. Also, a note, when I got there, I brought girls in, which there were no girls before. And so we had some really good athletes that came out of that and went on, and a lot of good athletes that would participate. Football coaches loved it. They'd send their running backs down.
Right.
Greg Heath was one, and Ken Murray at that time, and they'd run the beach, and boy, they were ready for fall football.
Well, it's always been very competitive. Was it as competitive back then?
Yes, it was very competitive because we would go down, we'd take week trips, and we'd compete at San Clemente, Santa Barbara, Long Beach, and Huntington, and we'd take 75 kids in a school bus for a week, and the kids would stay with families, and then we'd be housed by the lifeguards. And yeah, it was very competitive. One of the interesting things that I always loved was a thing called pillow fighting, and they don't do that anymore. But they had like a thing. It was like a telephone pole on a stand, and the kids would get up with pillows, put one hand in their suit in the back, and then they start whacking at each other until one got knocked off.
Wow!
And we'd go 10-zip, and I'd take my best kids in every age group, and we never lost. Some of my toughest ones were girls.
That is. You must have had some. You must have just a plethora of great memories of teaching all these kids. I mean, how is it nowadays when you walk downtown? You must see how many people do you see a day, for example, that have been through your program?
Oh yeah, as I mentioned before, I'll be walking down Pacific Avenue, and some young man or some lady would walk up to me, 50 years old, and go, "Hi, sir." And it's really a kick. They remember that. The one story that I love is when I transferred down from Casa Roble High School where I was teaching. I wanted to teach at Harbor. I was waiting till the water polo team and the swim team opened, and the principal brought me, and he hired me, and he introduced me to the swim team and the water polo team, and he brought me into the library, and it was really quiet, and the parents and the kids were there, and I heard this whisper from the back, "Oh no, it's Sir." So all these kids had me in Junior Lifeguards.
How do you think the kids in today's world would? I mean, that's a very open-ended question. How do you think the kids in today's world would fare back in the day when you were teaching?
Oh, I think that it's just the same. Now, remember, when did I start? The 60s.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, you'd have somebody on the beach come up to us and didn't like the discipline because we had them, my foot hit that sand. They had to be in squad formation. I had squad leaders and right guides, and they stood at attention. It was yes sir, no sir. And they exercised and they marched. And every once in a while, somebody didn't like it. But what was always very interesting is there was always a group of parents there, probably 50, 60 parents, would come to the beach.
Right.
And I never had to worry about that because a couple times I see a couple dads getting up and walk over to the guy and kind of walk him away. And that only happened 1 or 2 times, but they weren't really going to fool around with that. And the parents loved it, absolutely loved it.
Grant, what was your position with the Junior Lifeguard program?
Well, I started out as a 9-year-old junior lifeguard.
Scared?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Was it intimidating? Were you intimidated at 9 years old?
You know, I think you were, at 9 years old, you were part scared, part excited about something new and loving the beach environment, and part laughing. Jack would talk about all this discipline. You got to be at attention. You got to be quiet. But these guys were always, cutting jokes and everything else. And the kids were we would laugh so hard, and then we'd end up having to run in place and hit the water and come back and run in place again and then hit our bellies. And we call it sand rats or sand puppies, and then go grab handfuls of sand at the wharf. And a lot of people would look at the junior lifeguard program for the first time and go, "My God, what are you torturing those kids?" But what they didn't realize was that it was engaging kids.
Yeah.
It was taking athletes and making them better athletes.
Yeah.
It was taking kids that were just beginning to swim and making them better swimmers. And they would go back into schools, and I'm telling you, they would just light it up athletically. Something else, too. When we went home at the end of the day, we were tired.
Right.
And the parents loved the coaches for it.
Right.
They loved them because the kids went to bed with smiles and tired. You fed them dinner. They went to bed, and they were back down at the beach the next day.
That's needed more today than ever.
Yeah.
But it's funny thing about you're saying about that is I had kids who went through the program, and I always laugh about the first day if there's a south swell or not. Because you want to see some wet cats. Throw them on first day on a south swell.
Yeah. Okay, you're listening to the Off-Limit Radio Show right here on KSCO. We're on Facebook, Instagram, tweet. We are not Facebooking live tonight. We are live streaming on SantaCruzWaves.com. This portion of the show is brought to you by our good friend TC, Mr. Jeff Winterhalder.
Ah.
And what if Winterhalder did junior guards?
He played water polo and swam for me.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, at Harbor, yeah.
Okay, Winterhalder was an athlete. Good to hear.
Huh.
Jeff Winterhalder, you got your Ford there, right?
Oh, heck yeah, I did.
Okay, good. Go see Jeff.
Love that thing. I had to get my Ford custom built. Now, that's the one thing about Fords.
Yeah.
Down there in Dallas where they make them, you can get it custom built, whatever you want, any truck.
Go see Jeff down there. Jeff Winterhalder down at North Bay Ford. Also brought to you by People's Coffee on 17th and Bromer. Probably one of the finest coffee shops in town. Curtis has been supporting the show for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
His staff is great.
He's giving away a lot of coffee on the show.
You know what? Let's give away some coffee right now. Caller number 2. Hey, Chris. How you doing, buddy? Caller number 2 gets $25 worth of free coffee at People's Coffee.
Woo!
This is Neil TC with Grant Codiga and the Sir Jack Dufour. Be right back after this very short break. Don't go away.
Hey, Dave here from Kayak Connection. Looking for a fun family activity on the water? We've got the perfect venues and equipment that's just right for kids and novices, And for the experienced paddler out there, we've got the cutting-edge gear. With both paddleboard and kayak rentals, tours, lessons, and retail in the Santa Cruz Harbor and Moss Landing's famed Elkhorn Slough, you can't go wrong with Kayak Connection. Maybe take a romantic starlight tour with us in the Elkhorn Slough and be amazed as the water beneath you glows with each paddle stroke. Or a wildlife tour in Santa Cruz where you'll see otters.
Hi, this is Tim Loslot, head golf professional at De La Viega Golf Course. Summer is in full swing, so get out your golf clubs and head up to De La Viega Golf Course for a day on the links. If your time is limited, then stop by the driving range for a quick bucket of balls to loosen up your swing for your next round here. Also, don't forget, De La Viega Golf Course still offers short rounds every day of the week. Come out and enjoy just 3, 6, or 12 holes of golf at De La Viega Golf Course. Sign-ups for the 2016 Santa Cruz City Amateur are currently taking place. Don't miss out. Sign up now for this year's event to be held on Saturday and Sunday, August 13th and 14th. Lastly, I'd like to thank Ocean 76, located on the corner of Water and Ocean Street here in Santa Cruz. Remember, spend $10 or more at their location and receive a 2-for-1 coupon for range balls at De La Viega Golf Course Driving Range. And once again, please visit us on the web at www.delaviegagolf.com.
Good morning, Santa Cruz. Hi, it's Julie from Toyota Santa Cruz. And I understand that you guys are sick of my ad. Well, guess what? So am I. So they drugged me down here to make a new one. And I'm supposed to tell you how great our dealership is. Why? Because it is. We're selling cars like crazy. New Tacoma, the 4Runner. We have over 500 new cars in stock. What else do you want me to tell them? How cute I look right now? We are the proud sponsors of Off the Lip. We've been their sponsors since day one. We appreciate all the business from the skateboard and surf community in Santa Cruz, and I am always here for you guys. Anytime you need something, just come to the dealership. Ask for me. I'm in the fish tank on the showroom. Can't miss me. I'll make sure you get a sweet deal. My name is Julie Frigoli, General Sales Manager at Toyota of Santa Cruz. Highway 1 at 41st Avenue in Capitola.
And we're back. We're returning to the Off the Lip radio show right here on KSCO. We're very grateful to have this show. We're very honored to be on the radio here at KSCO with the world's only surf and skate show.
Are we? Because I thought those guys in the East Coast.
No, they're not doing surf and skate. We do both.
Alrighty.
This portion show is brought to you by the Britannia Arms. I think we've all been to Britannia Arms, haven't we? Hey, hands up in this room has been to Britannia Arms. Yeah, we've all been there.
Where the great English food is, right?
It's the great English food. I had shepherd's pie the other day to knock your socks off with a couple of Boddingtons. Boddingtons, if you never had a Boddington's beer, you know what Boddingtons is? God's tears.
I do go there for the turkey burger, fantastic,
Yep.
and the BLT, fantastic.
Dog-friendly patio, extensive menu of English food. Andy will take care of you 7 days a week. A great English breakfast on weekends. Get down to Britannia Arms in Capitola. They have a great spot. We're here in studio tonight. We have I'm calling him Sir Jack. Sir Jack is in studio. Jack Dufour, Grant Codiga. We're here because they are celebrating the Santa Cruz Beach Lifeguard Junior Lifeguard reunion coming up on October 1st at Cowles Beach. I wonder how many people are going to show up for that.
500,000.
How many? How many do you expect are going to roll in for that this deal?
We've got people flying in from all over the place. You expect to get some from the islands, from all over the mainland, coming in probably different parts of the world. So the word is getting out.
Okay.
We've got our Facebook page now, our event page, and phone calls. And
how's the event going to go? Is it going to be a beach party? What's happening? Is there food? We've got music. What's going?
We've got it. We've got it all.
Okay.
Because it's the 150th anniversary for the city. We're going to take advantage of it. Kind of dovetail in there with them, and we're going to have several bands down there. There's going to be games throughout the day. There's going to be Junior Lifeguard little competitions going on throughout the day.
Is it old farts?
Are the vets going to be doing flags down there? What's up?
I want to see some marching.
Yeah. I don't know if we're having cane or wheelchair races or what, but we're doing something down there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So games are going to go throughout the day, and then we're going to take a break early afternoon and have some history and recognition.
Okay.
And we really want to hear just a little bit from Al Mitchell, and we're going to introduce Jack Dufour and what he did for 10 years, just really focusing on the vision, structure, and camaraderie within the Junior Lifeguard program. And a gentleman who was with the State Beach Lifeguard program, really the highest awarded employee throughout the state, Alex Peabody, who passed away not long ago. But we want to recognize him, his dedication and excellence. And then afterwards, we're going to have a barbecue, and the alumni and current junior lifeguards. And this is not just for beach lifeguard and junior lifeguard alumni, but also for family and friends.
Very cool.
I think that's
there's
awesome.
Going to be social.
And I think Alex Peabody, they should name the boat after him or something. Seriously, a statue.
Yeah.
That guy was amazing.
Jack.
Yes.
You got the stage right now.
Okay.
I would love to hear from you, like your favorite story, or one of your favorite stories that you might have that revolves around the Junior Lifeguard program.
Well, some of the best things we ever did was taking the trip down south.
Right.
And we do it for a week. Parents love to see the kids go. We jump in that old school bus and off we'd go, and we go all the way down to San Clemente. So you can imagine you got 75 kids age 9 to 16 in a bus.
Yep.
And we'd go down there. I remember at least 2 times where, and you couldn't do this now, the kids would get rowdy in the back, and I'd stop the bus, and the kids would be out doing push-ups on the ice plant next to the freeway. And I said, okay, that's it. I've had enough. And
we wonder why they call him Sir.
Yeah. But we'd go down and we'd compete, and then we'd stay. Sometimes we'd camp out and we'd compete. And we had a lot of good times. One of the I always love to tell the story about Tim McGuire.
Yeah.
You can't do it anymore, but the kids, we'd all have the kids from the 9-year-old up jump off the wharf, because we felt that that's something they needed to do, and that's why the discipline was so important, is because these kids would do things. That's what the Marine Corps is all about. You do things you didn't think you were able to do. And you mentioned you had a daughter in Junior Lifeguards, and I bet you half the stuff you told her to do or run do this, she wouldn't do it. But when somebody tells you, and it's a yes sir discipline program, you do it. And also, one step into that is a reason that we had the discipline is when you're dealing with 60 kids on the beach and you have big waves, they better do what you tell them to do. You've got them out surfing. Here comes a big set. Get in. Yes, sir. And boy, they'd all come in. There was no hesitation or anything. It was a safety type thing. So, but anyway, we have all the kids jumping off the wharf. And so there was one little girl that she didn't want to jump. She didn't want to jump.
It's
so,
intimidating. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a ways down.
Yeah. So Tim McGuire. Big Tim. He gets her name was Jan. And he grabs Jan and he holds her in front of him and he jumps off the wharf. He made 2 mistakes. 2, he jumped off the wharf, and 1, he didn't hold her tight enough, and her head came right up.
Oh, hit him in the chin.
It hit him in the chin, and I mean, it's hard, so a big guy, you call him a wuss, but I was up top, so I could get away.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that was, but the kids would jump off the wharf, and that was really a neat deal. And then we did the captain's corps, and finally, after a while, we narrowed it down because we wanted guys to be lifeguards. So Grant was one of my first captain corps, and I think, what did we take, 16? I think there were 16 young people that we thought were good citizens, good swimmers, good athletes, and we put them into a captain's corps. And one of the lifeguards would go out, and he'd have a red cap on it, and they'd have to watch all day, and they'd rescue them, and they learn how to do that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we had... We sure had a good time. But when we came down, when I hit the beach at 10 o'clock, and the age groups range from 10 to 12 was in the morning was the 13 to 16,
okay.
And 12 to 2 was 11 and 12s, and then we had the little guards,
right,
6, 7, and 8-year-olds,
right.
And at one time I had 80 of them.
Oh wow!
And they learned it really quick. It was stand at attention, and they were doing it. And then from 3 to 5 was the 9 and 10-year-olds. But one of my favorite stories is that so many parents came up to me and they said, "You know what my child did last night?" And I said, "What?" And she goes, "I said, will you go dry the dishes?" And he went, "Yes, ma'am." And they all said that. The little guy come home, yes, sir. And they go, oh, wow, this is great. This is great.
Is that
So,
missing in today's world, do you think, a little bit?
if you set the program up? And your question was, and I drifted away from it, but are the kids now different than that? No, they're not. I mean, I coached for 30 years and went through the gamut of from 19. Let's see, I started in '73 and coached to 95.
Right.
Same kids,
Okay.
and I ran my programs that way with discipline. Kids take the discipline if you're fair.
Right. And how was the competition back then when you guys traveling down south? Because I know now we're very competitive.
Well, we were land people. Water was cold. I felt sorry for it because, boy, you're in there, and what's the temperature of the water? I can't even remember. You know.
50,
Here, high 50s, yeah.
Yeah, and it's cold for those kids to go in. Young kids can handle it, but we didn't do a lot of as much beach work as they did down south because you're going to Huntington. But we never lost a run relay. We never lost a musical flag. We never lost a pillow fight. We never lost that. But then we get into the water, and it was a little bit different because that's all those guys did down there is swim and stuff. But we had the national here, and we won that, and we held our own here with a lot less numbers.
Yeah, a lot less population.
Yeah.
TC, you want to ask Sir Jack a traditional question?
For the seasoned people in the world?
That's right.
Jack, we always ask guests this.
Especially the seasoned guests.
Seasoned guests,
Yes.
yeah. It's a polite way to put it. First off, I'm going to ask you a question, then you're going to tell me why. What was your favorite decade?
Probably the 60s because I was at Chico State, and I was on the GI Bill, and I was out of the Marine Corps. I was done with the stuff I went through in the Marine Corps, and I really enjoyed school, and I was ready to study, and I felt good. And then by the time 1970, I went, because I didn't start teaching until I was 28, because I'd gone through the Marine Corps and had to make up some grades, but that was the best time for me.
Chico was the party school back then, too?
Well, I don't know. I was in the library most of the time.
Yeah.
There's a reason the 60s were so hot.
Well, the library was a bar.
Okay.
No, actually, it was the what was the bar? The Oasis. That was a fun time. I mean, there's other great times. 70s was great. 70s, because I was coaching. I love coaching. I just loved it. It was just a passion, and I had great kids at Harbor High School. Fantastic kids. So,
in fact, our Jeff Winterhalter just texted me, and he goes, Jack was the best coach ever. Loved that guy. And he taught me a lot. Number one was respect.
There you go.
yeah, that's nice. Thank you.
That is nice.
So, I'm sure a lot of people, there's not, Jeff's not the only guy who's going to say that. So I think, you've definitely, from all I've heard, from all the people I've heard, Greg and some other, Andy Whitman, a lot of people I've talked to this week, ready for the show, have just said, utmost respect for this man, and we're lucky to have you in the studio.
All right.
I got a quick story.
No, you take your time. This is your show.
This is one of my favorite stories. It has nothing to do with Junior Lifeguards. When I was coaching, I told the kids, "You call me, it's not Jack, but the way the seniors would set up the freshmen, because in water polo the kids would all line up on the deck looking up at me from freshmen, and then the varsity, because they all get together at the beginning of practice. And the seniors would set up some poor little freshman that was just hyper, just going, and they say, he'd have his hand up, and they say, just yell Jack. Just say, hey, Jack. And so, hey, Jack. He'd be down there, rating, Jack. And I'd look down to him, and I said, now, let me tell you something. I said, the only people that call me Jack are my friends and people I have a beer with. You're neither. You call me Coach or Mr. Dufour. Do you understand me? That? And the seniors are at the end, and they're just busting up, So this would happen every year. So finally, when I retired, they had a really nice barbecue for me at Harvey West. So I'm sitting there, and all the parents are there, and this and that, and I hear a voice, Coach. And I look down, and there's a big group of young men down maybe 75 yards away, and they're waving to me. Come here. So I walk down, they're in a circle, And as I walk, I get to the circle. The circle opens up, and there's 2 cases of beer and a bottle of tequila. And they go, "Now, Jack, let's have a drink." I said, they were all late 20s, early 30s. That's one of my favorite memories that I've ever had.
That's
It
great.
made me feel so good, yeah.
You are listening to the Off the Net Radio Show right here on KSCO. We're on Facebook, Instagram. We tweet once in a while. We are. If you want to see the show tomorrow, if you missed the show tonight, it's on offthenetradio.com, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or you can go to YouTube and watch it now live, or when the show is over, just go to Off the Net Radio Show on YouTube. This portion of the show is brought to you by beginnerboards.com, safe and fun surfboards that give everyone the opportunity to have fun while surfing. With prices ranging from $40 to $650, you cannot beat the value at beginnerboards.com. For more info, call Brad Shelton at 521-8094 or go to beginnerboards.com. Show is brought to you by also Santa Cruz Mountain Brewing, an award-winning local certified organic brewery. 7 flagship ales. They've got seasonal beers, hard ciders, draft root beer, kombucha. They got it all there. Visit their tap room or beer garden for some good food, organic beers, free Wi-Fi at the Swift Street Courtyard on Ingle Street in Santa Cruz. Neil TC here with Grant Codiga, Lord Jack Dufour. Be right back with this very short break. Don't go away.
Attention surfers and paddleboarders. Don't let cold water or cold air take you out of the water for 5 to 6 weeks. Protect your ear canals with custom-made earplugs. The Listening Stack in Capitola is now offering custom earplugs molded to fit your ears perfectly, comfortably protecting your ear canals from the harsh elements of the Pacific Ocean. Stop messing with universal earplugs that don't work and try something that does. Mention Off the Lip Radio and receive an extra $20 off any custom molded earplugs in our store. The Listening Stack is located at the corner of Capitola Avenue at 41st. Listening Stack. Protect, enhance, enjoy. 831-498-9890.
This is Brother Timmy.
And Cleo from Cleo's Corner at Pune Hawaiian Grill.
Featuring wraps, teriyaki bowls, plate lunches, amazing and creative salads, vegetarian and gluten-free options, and over 20 different types of poke, all made to order, fast, fresh, and healthy. And what's your favorite, Khalil?
The chicken fingers.
Located at 120 Union Street in downtown Santa Cruz. Call us for takeout at 831-426-PONO or check us out on the web at PonoHawaiianGrill.com. We put the Ono in Pono.
Hey, it's Fran from Steamer Lane Supply, a new snack stop located across the street from Steamer Lane in Lighthouse Field. Healthy and quick food, great organic coffee, house-made soft drinks, and surf essentials like wax, leashes, and sunblock are available to fuel your stoke. 5% discount if you're in your wetsuit, and there's even a menu just for dogs. Hours are Tuesday through Sunday, 7:30 to 7. Look for our food truck on the weekends, serving great fish tacos. And we're on Facebook and Instagram at Steamer Lane Supply. Hope to see you out there.
And we're back with the Off the Net Radio Show. Thank you all for listening, and I want to thank our sponsors for sponsoring the show. In studio tonight, we are with Mr. Grant Codiga and Lord Jack Dufour. We're speaking about the Santa Cruz Beach Lifeguard, Junior Lifeguard reunion, October 1st at Cowles Beach. Huge bash, but I do know that they would like to get donations perhaps for the barbecue. Is that correct?
It is.
That'd be useful?
It would be very useful.
Okay. So all you all you kids, or adults now that have been through the program, chip in a couple of bucks.
Well, how do we get, if somebody's listening, they own a restaurant or a store, or they need to get you supplies, how would they do it?
Contact Santa Cruz City Parks and Recreation Department.
Okay.
And the law's in place that it simply doesn't allow us to charge for meals down there. So we've got to pre-fund everything. It's not a lot of money.
Right.
Billy Stars and others are donating their time in terms of barbecuing, and anything you're willing to help out with, please contact, again, Santa Cruz City Parks and Rec.
Okay.
And what are the needs? Barbecue supplies? That's the main deal, or cash to help buy barbecue supplies.
Cash is easiest because we know exactly what we need to buy and purchase. But
that's a tax write-off for somebody.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Jeff Winterhalter's texting me back. He wants to. He should be here.
Hey,
what's he doing at home? He's like sucking down beers.
Tell him to pick up the phone and call us.
479-1080. Winterhalter. I'm not doing this anymore. Reading your text. Call in and say what you got to say.
Yeah.
831-479-1080. Let's see if the big kahuna.
I'll book a lube and tune for my van.
There you go.
With a discount.
Darn right.
If anybody wants to call in tonight to talk about their experience in the lifeguard program, then please feel free to at 831-479-1080. We are awaiting the phone call from Mr. Jeff Winterhalter, providing he's not at like Cafe Cruz, which is likely.
Jack, when you were teaching, or I take it back, when you were helping with the junior guards, was there any problem? Cal's the most polluted beach in the country. Was there any concern at all back then? Probably no research was done.
That's exactly right. I don't think there's any research, and I was always surprised that it's not my business, but that it's at Cowles Beach, because I always liked it at Tower 2.
Yeah.
Because you got more room,
Yep.
and you can. We did a lot of runs up and down the beach, and you can kind of keep your eye on the kids.
Right.
And when they're taking a run, because we'd run down the beach. Sometimes I'd march them down the beach, or we'd run, and there just seemed to be more room there, but that's their business.
And the water's dramatically, according to the reports, cleaner at that.
Well,
end of the beach.
that's what I think. Cowles. I mean, I grew up in Santa Cruz, and I think that Cowles has always been a little bit iffy. Anyway, I mean, I was 10 years old on Cowles.
I'm with you.
Hey, I went to Cowles so much. I should have been 6'4", man. I'm 5'7". I contributed to the Cowles Beach.
On the phone right now, we got Jeff on the phone.
Hey,
is this which Jeff is this?
Winterhalter.
What's up, Jeff?
Give me 10.
Oh, give
you 10. Did you hear that?
Give me 10, Jeff.
Oh, are you there?
Yeah. Did you hear?
No, I can hear now. Yeah.
Jack needs 10. Tell him, Jack.
10 push-ups now.
10 push. Oh, thanks, Jack.
Just give me one, because I haven't got any confidence after one.
Actually, what I was going to say is the one thing I always loved that you told us in polo was warn them once, warn them twice, and the third time they're all yours. And I will never forget that as long as I live.
How was he as a coach, Jeff?
What's that? I'm sorry?
How was he as a coach?
He was an excellent coach. He was amazing.
Yeah, he was my first year when I came from Sacramento.
Right.
He and David Moore, Hirogian, and no, second year. That's right. Second year, yeah.
No,
you were with me. No. Yeah, you were with me, Mike Jones, huh? Mike Jones and Hirogian.
No, well, Mike Jones and Hirogian are older now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
John Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, thanks for calling the show, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, love you guys. Talk to you soon.
And thanks for supporting the show. TC, you want that oil change? Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, I'll give you a call, Jeff.
Yeah, and tires also.
Tires.
Talk to you.
All right. See you, Jeff. Okay, we're here tonight with Grant Codiga and Lord Jack Dufour. We're talking about this big reunion coming up. I want to mention it one more time. October 1st at Cowles Beach. Anybody who's been in the lifeguard program, junior or otherwise, is welcome to come. Is that correct? Anybody's welcome to come?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's a free-for-all. It's going to be packed.
I hope so.
I
mean,
it is going to be packed.
Right. I mean, it's what a great event. It's almost like saying everybody who ever went to Harbor High, let's have a party.
Yeah. Well, I think the great thing that's going to be is you're going to see people that you haven't seen in 20, 30 years.
Right.
And I do that as a coach. And to come back and see your buddies, because we talked before, Grant and I were in the same fraternity, local fraternity at Chico State, a little few years difference. But you go back and see your buddies, and you haven't seen them in 20 years. And to me, this is what I'm looking forward to more than anything, is to see the kids. They're not kids anymore, and that I haven't seen in 20, 30 years. They got to come up and tell me who they are. Of course, they're going to have to, find me too. But but that's what I'm looking for more than anything, is to see the old group. I think that's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, I can't tell you, just over the years how many times I've been at the Palomar and other places and run into junior lifeguards I coached, a lot of the Mavericks crew when they were younger and everything, and them just looking at me and going, Codiga, they didn't know what we had. And guys, gals have been talking about it for years, for decades, getting together and just seeing each other again.
Right.
Because
So go back to Mavericks crew. You were the coach of a lot of those guys
when they were
Rat
little
boy,
kids.
right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of those guys all went through.
Well,
it.
the funny story there is my good buddy Mark Lester grew up, went to Aptos High Boot. We had just gotten done having brunch at Gilda's, and we thought we'd walk up to the lane, just check out the waves, and we're walking up, and there's Rat Boy Collins with, I don't know, I think Jason was there with maybe 6, 7 buddies, and they're all talking it up and everything, and I walked up, and it's like he just forgot where he was. He was just like, oh, hi, Mr. Codiga. How are you, sir? And very, very, very funny. Great times too. But a lot of the kids, and Jack mentioned the trips down south.
Yeah.
We had a blast with those guys.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
What do you see the program in the next 50 years? Do you still see it growing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a beach town. What I like so much about the program is it educated in water safety. You're living on the beach. You're living in an ocean town. That's the first thing you should learn.
Right.
I had some kids in my program that their parents drove them from San Jose here to be in the program.
Yeah, it's still the case.
Well, it's life lessons. You know,
yeah, exactly. And they would learn. They learned everything. Riptides. We do first aid, and we do riptides, and they learned. And there were some kids that were deathly afraid of the ocean. I mean, you talk about a funny story. I have one kid that would not go in the water. He would not go around the buoy. And I didn't know what to do. And I'm sitting there, and his mother walked up, and he was just livid. And she looks at me, and she goes, "Pick him up and take him." And I said, "Are you sure?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'm tired of this." And so I took him out, and I put him on the paddle board. I went out to the buoy, and I pushed him off, and I looked at her, and she waved at me and put a thumbs up, and she says, "Let him go." That was the fastest that kid ever swam in his life to come. But from then on, he would go. But he didn't. And he turned out to be one of the really good athletes in Santa Cruz
Very, very cool.
County. Yeah.
Let's talk to Ken here. Ken's calling it. Hey, Ken, how you doing?
Neil, what's going on?
How are you?
Good, man. Hey, I just sitting here listening to Jack, and oh God, now I'm embarrassing myself when I forget Grant Codiga, and I was in the very first 2 years of the Junior Lifeguard program. And Jack, I have to tell you that when you came in, my memory, which is certainly 50 years ago, is a little weak these days, but man, you were the disciplinarian. And I remember we were taught marching. And
Ken, you were marching, Ken?
I'll tell you. Huh?
You were marching?
We were marching. Yeah.
I had a Ken that kept falling down. I wonder if that was you.
That was, well, there's no internet back then, so who knows? But what I recall, though, we went down to Huntington Beach. We raised money. We actually got on a plane. There was only 20 or 30 people in the program back then. And we went to Huntington Beach, and, I mean, it was like walking into the lion's den because they beat us at everything except I don't think they ever thought about marching. We competed in marching, and my memory says we won that. So that was all because of you and the discipline you taught us. So it was good. I got nothing but great memories of it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I do
Ken.
too. Yeah.
Thanks for calling, Ken.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
See you,
bet,
buddy.
man. All the best to
Thank you very
Thanks.
much.
So marching was a part of the whole competition?
Yeah, well, again, you go back to Australia when they start the adult lifeguards, when they start their competition, they do the boats and
they do the boats.
big time, and they're wearing the
right.
caps, and they march first. And so Dean Hovey said, "We got to get these kids to march. Can you do it?" Because I was working for the rec department, and he brought me down. So anyway, that's how it started.
Huh.
And then Dean again said, "Will you take the program?" And I said, "Yeah." So for the next 10 years, I took it. So
awesome.
Best time that you talked about decades. It's just hard for me to do decades because the 70s and the 60s when I did junior, it was the best job that you could have. Grant will attest to that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great kids. So much. Hey, out on the beach.
Yeah.
Running around telling people what to do.
Right.
That?
Can be that.
Life's good.
Think about how many lives have been saved
I'm
because of the
sure.
training that you've been involved in. The world's covered in water and people don't know how to swim. Come on. That is like the silliest thing ever. We spend, 18, 20 years going to school and no one teaches you how to swim.
Yeah. Well, how many times have you seen in the newspaper
where
someone does a rescue and she's 13 years old, 14 years old, junior lifeguard.
Right.
Well, just last week, a guy jumped off the cliff at the lane and drowned.
Right.
Any skills at all taught to him through a junior lifeguard program would have saved his life.
Yeah.
Yep.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Santa Cruz Armory. They carry top brands of firearms and accessories for all your hunting needs. On site, they have a gunsmith that can repair your firearm. If you have a firearm or ammunition at home that you're unsure of,
I love
call
this
Santa Cruz
part.
Armory, and they'll come to you and put your mind at ease. How's that?
How about if you find a grenade or something?
Yeah, then come out there and check it out. A lifetime family-owned and operated business with a friendly, knowledgeable staff without TC, you know it.
Love it.
Without the gun shop attitude. Call them at 706-7374 or go to santacruzarmy.com. Also, this portion of the show is brought to you by Surf City Sandwich. TC, I had the pork belly.
How's that
bone
diet?
in. I'm telling you, dude. After half of it, I was ready to take a nap. It was the killer sandwich.
Yeah.
It was...
Surf City Sandwich, you guys been there?
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
This pork belly sandwich was like, it was a monster. I mean, the only thing you needed after that was a nap.
Well,
check out Surf City Sandwich at
yeah.
the far end, not the beach end, but the far end of 45th Avenue. This is Neil TC with Grant Codiga, Sir Lord Jack Dufour. His name's getting longer. We'll be right back after this very short break. Don't go away.
This is Numa and Isaac from Aloha Island Grill. Well, summer's right around the corner here in Santa Cruz, and that means one thing. It's time to come get your grind on at the Aloha Island Grill.
Come over to Aloha Island Grill and eat some food.
We're located on the corner of Portola and 17th Avenue, and we've got a beautiful lanai for you to come sit out on. We've got a fine assortment of plate lunch, fresh ahi poke, and other wonderful treats for you to enjoy.
My favorite food at Aloha Island Grill is Kalua Pig.
We've got ice-cold beer and wine for those hot summer days, and try some of our homemade POG, Passion Orange Guava Juice. It's delicious. For to-go orders, give us a call at 479-3299. Find us on the web at alohaislandgrill.com or come on down to 1700 Portola Drive. Aloha Island Grill is a proud member of Think Local First.
Chill Out Cafe on 41st Avenue, Santa Cruz is not just a block from some of the world's best surf, but it is also where you can go relax and order the tastiest grub before and after your sesh. Plump burritos, fresh salads, sky-high sandwiches, and a superb selection of hot and cold drinks. They have something for you. Go to chilloutcafesantacruz.com to view their menu, and to place your order to go, call 831-477-0543. Chill Out Cafe, where they roll the fatties.
Listening to the Off Deck Radio Show really quickly before we go. There's a cool event that David Dennis, he's been on the show more times than Donald Trump has been on KSCO, mentioned at least. Go to September 24th, 11 to 7 p.m. Ocean's Edge Food Truck and Artisan Fair happening at Steamer Lane Lighthouse on Westcliff. It's organized by Food Trucks A-Go-Go and Ventana Surfboard and Supplies. They have amazing food trucks, 11 local vendors. It's free, family-friendly, and environmentally responsible. Picnic on the lawn. They got all kinds of good stuff there. Save Our Shores beach cleanup. You get 10% off many of the vendors. Check this all out at VentanaSurfboards.com/Ocean's Edge. Thanks, David, for letting me read that for you. I want to go back one more time and talk about this event, which is coming up. Grant Codiga's got the floor.
Okay, thanks so much, TC and Neil, again.
You're very
October 1st, Cowles Beach. We've got the whole beach. The tourists aren't going to be there. It's going to be for locals. Get excited, get fired up, get on the phone, get your family and friends there. It's a Santa Cruz, all county-wide beach lifeguard, junior lifeguard reunion, and we're going to be celebrating the Santa Cruz City's 50th anniversary, as well as the city's 150th anniversary. We're going to have bands there. It's going to be food there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Most importantly, you're going to be able to rub shoulders with those folks you haven't seen for decades.
Is there a suggestion box of what to have at this event? Can I suggest one thing?
Sure.
I think you guys should have a microphone there with, loudspeakers, obviously, and have a Jack Dufour roast.
I think so.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get at least 20 people up there with one Jack Dufour story.
Well, you need a microphone for sure.
Yeah, and by the way, everyone bring a beach chair.
Okay.
Bring a beach chair. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we are going to be roasting Jack.
And also, the message should be everybody knows somebody that's gone through that program, and maybe you should send a little Facebook message to that friend and remind them.
You guys have a
October
Facebook,
1st.
you guys have a Facebook page.
We've got a Facebook event page. If you haven't been invited to the event, you can contact me, Grant Codiga. I give you my phone number, 325-9825, or on Facebook.
What's the Facebook page called?
It's called Santa Cruz Beach Lifeguard and Junior Lifeguard Reunion.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Lord.
Yeah,
Dufour,
the one
Lord
thing.
Dufour, is there anything you want to say before you go?
Yeah, I sure hope people show up because I haven't given push-ups in quite a few years. and
Poor guy.
I'm ready.
Do you think Winterholder's going to go? He's scared. Is he too scared?
Well, he's got to bring 9 out of the guys to get to 10.
Jeff.
Yeah, looking forward to it. That'll be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys going to do. Is it red shorts attire? Is that necessary?
No, pretty much they're just showing up. But
Just showing up?
I may get a hold of a whistle for Jack.
Does
Be careful.
does red make you look thinner?
Not me.
Is red a thinner color?
No, not me.
Okay, no red's
no.
not gonna make it.
Okay.
October 1st is soon. Are you guys ready?
We're ready.
We're ready.
So people can donate. Then go to your Facebook page, Facebook page, and
Or contact the Parks and
contact
Rec.
you, call Santa Cruz Parks and Rec, to donate a little bit of money for the food down there that you want to have.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, or if a business wants to sponsor it or something,
Right.
you know, anybody that wants to help out.
Absolutely, and cash is preferable because we know what we're going to be
Cash is
purchasing.
good.
Yep.
I want to thank Grant Codiga. I want to thank Jack Dufour for coming on the show tonight. It was our honor to have you on the show.
Thank you.
50 years.
We're going to go. Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah. How long's the lifeguard program been here? Do we know? Because we've had Novak on the show, and he was pre-lifeguard. Remember, they used to hire him to find dead bodies out there.
You mean the senior lifeguards or the junior lifeguards?
The seniors. Do we know?
Well, I know they were in the 50s and 40s because I know Dave McGuire, who was an instructor at Cabrillo, and he was a Marine in the Korean War, and he was a lifeguard. So it's been
a while,
long time, and I really don't have that stat.
Thanks, Jack, for coming on the show.
Thank you,
sir, for coming on the show. Thanks, Grant, for coming on the show. We're off to Star Benny, TC.
Yes, we
grab
are.
a little food. Grab a little food. We're off to Star Benny. We go off to every show. Great Italian food, great Argentinian food, right down the street from KSCO at Star Benny. Next week's guest, are you ready?
I'm ready.
He was our first guest ever.
Bob Pearson?
Bob Pearson's making a comeback.
Wow.
How about Sir Bob?
Hey, can I just predict right now?
What's
He's
the-
going to wear red pants.
He will wear red. That'll be red
I'm
or
just
orange.
Gonna predict it right
Go
now.
red.
So anyone listening, you got to watch the live feed next week.
Yeah.
What color pants will Bob wear?
Bob Pearson from Arrow Surfboards at Bean Studio today. He's always a great guest, a lot of fun.
Right.
He's great to have on the show.
Maybe orange pants.
That's what I
Hey,
said.
if they get it right, Jeff Winterhalter will give them tires.
Yes, that's a good one. New tires.
Thank
New
you for listening
tires.
to the Off the Lit Radio Show tonight. We had a lot of fun. We'll see you next week. If you missed the show, it's on offthelitradio.com or you check it out on YouTube. Thanks, everyone, for listening. We really appreciate it. Thanks to sponsors, and thanks to KSCO for allowing us to have this show once a week. We really appreciate it. Good night.
From Capitola to Carmel, Red Hot News Talk. AM 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz.
CBS News, I'm Bill Whitney. Jacob's Law, which requires states